Chapter 6.6 Graphs of Straight Lines. Okay, the objectives of this section is to learn solutions of linear equations in two variables. And the second one is to graph equations of the form y equals mx plus b. Alright, so there is an equation in two variables. For example, this one. F is equal to 9 over 5 times c plus 32. Okay, in this case, F represents the Fahrenheit, the temperature in Fahrenheit, and C represents the Celsius, the degrees in Celsius. So they are both temperature. So if a Celsius is given, then you can convert the Celsius into the Fahrenheit. So let's say if the Celsius is like 30 degrees. So the equation represents the equation. This is a relationship between the Fahrenheit temperature F and the Celsius temperature C. All right, so this is the equation. It's a relation. So if the Celsius is 30 degrees, then what we can do is just plug in 30, right? 30. So 9 over 5. And then instead of C, replace this 30 with, so replace C with 30, right? 30. And then simplify the expression on the right side. So 9 over 5 is, okay, you can reduce. Then this is equal to 54 plus 8 plus 32. So that is 86, right? So the Fahrenheit is now 86. So in this case, the Fahrenheit is 86 degrees. 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So if the Celsius 30 degrees, then that is equivalent to 86 degrees in Fahrenheit. Okay, so this is an equation. So equation has two variables, in this case F and C. If C is given, then calculate the expression on the right side, then that is the value of F. Okay, so this is an example of a linear equation in two variables. Okay, so next concept is an equation of the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the coefficient of x and b is a constant. Then this is called a linear equation in two variables. So y equals mx plus b. So look at this example. Y equals 2x plus 1. So this is in form of y equals mx plus b. So in this case, what is the m? M is the coefficient of x, which is 2, right? 2. How about b? B is the constant, plus or minus, so that is 1. How about the second equation? Okay, in second equation, m is equal to negative 2, right? Negative 2, because the coefficient of x is negative 2. Then constant part is negative 5. So b is equal to negative 5. And the third one, the coefficient of x is negative 3 over 4. So m will be negative 3 over 4. And how about b? There's nothing, right? Nothing. So plus 0, minus 0. So b should be 0. Can you see it? So we have there are three linear equations in two variables, and these two variables are x and y. So usually we use right on the left hand side, x is on the right hand side. And the coefficient of x is m, we call it m, right? M. So m is the coefficient of x, and the constant part is the one, plus something and minus something. So they are the constants. Okay, so here is another example. Okay, y equals x squared plus 4x plus 3. Is this a linear equation? Actually, it's not. This is not a linear equation because This one has a square term, right? Square term. Because variable is squared. So if a variable is squared or cubed, if there's a power greater than 1, then it is not a linear equation. So always there's only two variables, x and y, and their exponent should be 1. Okay, should be 1. So if the exponent is not 1, then it's not a linear equation. Okay, how about this one? Y equals 3 over x minus 4. Okay, this is not a linear equation as well because x is in the denominator. So variable is in the denominator, right? Okay, the variable x is exponent is 1, but since the variable is in the denominator, this is not a linear equation. It has to be in the numerator. Okay, a solution of an equation in two variables is an order pair xy, whose coordinates make the equation a true statement. So you have an equation, and if the given order pair satisfies the equation, then yes, that order pair is a solution. So in general, there are so many numbers of solutions in a linear equation in two variables. Okay, so in order to find, if x is given, use any x value, and then substitute that x value for x in the equation, then you get the corresponding value of y. Okay, this means, let's check an example. Okay, find the order pair, xy order pair of the solution, order pair solution of the equation. Okay, here's an equation. Okay, that corresponds to x equals 6. That means if the x value is 6, then substitute 6 for x and then simplify the equation, which means solve for y. Okay, solve for y, then that value will be the corresponding y value. So, okay, let me write equation y equals 2 over 3x minus 3. So from this one, we want to replace 6 for x. Okay, so that will be y is equal to 2 over 3 times what? 6 minus 3. So this is how we substitute it, and then solve for y. So y is equal to, reduce it, so 2 times 2, right? 2 times 2 minus 3. Then that is 4 minus 3, so y is equal to 1. So we solve for y, and then this is the corresponding y value. Right, corresponding y value. So the order pair is what? X is 6, and then y value is 1. So the order pair, always write the x value first, and then the y value is 1. So this is the order pair solution. So if x equals 6, then y equals 1. So if x is 3, then y is some number. If x equals 0, then y is some number. So depending on the value of x, you have a corresponding y value. So there is order pair solution. So there are so many order pair solutions. So if you plot all these points that satisfies the equation, then it will form a straight line. Okay, we will come up this with a letter. Okay, let's try another example. Okay, let's find the order pair. Okay, we will do the same thing. Let's find the order pair for the equation y equals negative 3x plus 1. So when x equals 2. Okay, so what we do is replace this x with what? 2, right? And then solve for y. So negative 6 plus 1, then y equals negative 5. So the corresponding y value is negative 5. So the order pair is x equals 2, y is negative 5. So this is the solution. Okay, the order pair solution is 2 and -5. Make sense? Okay. Let's graph this linear equation. Okay, graph a linear equation of the form y equals mx plus b. Okay, then let's graph equation of the form y equals mx plus b. Then this will be the graph of order pair solutions of the equation. So for example, here's an equation y equals 2x plus 1. Then we want to find some order pair solutions. So let's give some x values. So why don't we try -2, x values for -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then let's find the y value, corresponding y values to these x values. So y value equals, all right, then the y value is 2x plus 1, right? 2x plus 1. So replace this x with -2. All right, then this is equal to what? -4 plus 1. So that is -3, right? -3. So the order pair is when x equals -2, y is -3. So we found one order pair. So let's keep finding these order pairs for these x values. So when x equals -1, replace it. Then -2 plus 1, so that is -1. So the order pair is when x equals -1, y is also -1. Okay, if x equals 0, then plug in 0 for x. Then that will be 0 plus 1, so that is 1. Y value is 1. So when x equals 0, y is equal to 1. Okay, if x equals 1, then 2 times 1 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So y value is 3 when x equals 1. So write x value and y value in order pair. If x equals 2, then 2 times 2 plus 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So the order pair for this x is 2 and y is 5. All right. So we have found 5 points, 5 order pair solutions. Then plot these 5 points on the coordinate system. Then that will be the solution, right? These are the solutions. So from here, we can, so once you plot these 4 points and connect all these points, then it will form a straight line. Then that straight line is the graph of the equation. Okay, -2 and 3. So here it is -2. So -1. Okay, let's set this -1, -2, -3. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me write it something like this: -1, -2, -3, -4. All right, so from here, let's plot the points. Okay, the first point is -2 and -3. So move 2 units to the left, 1, 2, and 3 units down. So 1, 2, 3. So we are around here. Okay, the second point is -1 and -1. So move 1 unit to the left, 1 unit down. So we are here. And next one is when x equals 0, y equals 1. So horizontal distance 0, so don't move horizontally, just move 1 unit up, like this. Okay, next one is x equals 1, y equals 3. So 1 unit to the right, 3 units up. So 1, 2, 3 up. All right, so one more. So x equals 2, y is 5. So x equals 2, y is, so 2 means 2 to the right and 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So somewhere like this. Make sense? So we plotted 5 points and then connect these 5 points. So that is the graph of the linear equation. Alright, so this is not something like this. Okay, connect these 2 points, these 5 points. It's going all the way up and down, right? So this is the graph of the equation. Graph of this linear equation. Make sense? So find some order pair solutions, order pair, and then plot the points on the rectangular coordinate system, then connect the points. Here, 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 and here, right? Okay, so the graph of a linear equation is always a straight line. A linear equation is always straight line. So linear equation is y equals mx plus b, right? So m and b are numbers, so y equals 3x plus 7, or y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 4, or y equals negative x. So these are all linear equations. So the graph of this linear equation will be a straight line. So then how do we graph this equation? Okay, the coefficient is negative 3 over 2, right? So m is negative 3 over 2 and b equals 2. Okay, then let's find x values. So let's find, not x values, let's find at least 2 solutions. So in order to graph a line, if there are 2 points given, then you can connect these two, then this will form a straight line, right? So use at least 2 solutions. If you find 3 solutions, that is fine. And all these 3 lines, 3 points should lie on the same line, right? Collinear, we call it collinear points. Okay, now in this case, the coefficient m is a fraction, negative 3 over 2. So when we select the x values, why don't we find the multiple of the denominator too? So we don't have a fraction. So in this case, let's find the values that is a multiple of 2. So you can select 0, 2, right? 2, or 4, or you can select negative 2. Actually, it doesn't matter, right? So we will use multiple of 2 for the x values. Okay, so the equation. So when x equals, let's try negative 2, 0, and 2. Let's try these 3 numbers. And then replace this x with negative 2, then negative 3 over 2 times negative 2 plus 2 equals, 2 to cancel out, so we have negative 3 plus 2, right? Negative 3 plus 2. Sorry, not negative. Positive. We have a positive number, 2 cancel out. So 3 plus 2. So that is 5. So if x equals negative 2, then y will be 5. Okay, if x equals 0, then negative 3 over 2 times 0 plus 2. Then then the fraction will become 0 plus 2, so y value is 2. Then the order pair is 0 and y is 2. Okay, let's try one more. The next one is negative 3 over 2 times 2, right? Times 2. Then 2 cancel out, negative 3 plus 2, so y value is negative 1. So the third point is x equals 2, y is negative 1. Alright, then we can plot these 3 points. This is x, this is y. Alright, so x equals negative 2, and the y value is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when x equals negative 2, then y is 5. So it goes all the way up here. Okay, for the second number, so x equals 0, y equals 2, x equals 0, y equals 2, this is 2, right? And the third one, x equals 2, so 1, 2, then y is negative 1. So negative 1 is over here. Then what we do, since we have 3 points, then connect these 3 points. So that should be on the same line. Like this. Alright, so that's the graph. So this point is when x equals 2, y equals -1. And this point is when x equals 0, y is 2. How about this point? This point is -2, then y is 5. Okay, something like this. Simple, isn't it? So when you graph, there are different ways to graph the linear equation, but this is the first method so far. All right, then can we graph this? Okay, let me write it here. So let's graph y equals x plus 2. All right, x plus 2. So why don't we, you can use any x value. So why don't we use x as a 0? So if x equals 0, then what happens? In this case, if x equals 0, then what is y? 0 plus 2 is 2, right? Okay. What if x equals 1? If x equals 1, then y is 3, right? 3. All right. You want to try another one? Okay, let's try this time negative number. So -2. What's negative? X equals -2. Then what is y value? 0, right? 0. Okay. Then let's plot this one on the coordinate system. So this is the x, and this is y. So if x equals 0, then y equals 2. Y equals 2 over here. X equals 1. To x equals 1, then y is 3 over here. Then if x equals -2, -1, -2, right? -2, -1, then y is 0. So that's it. Connect these 3 points. So one goes like this, one goes like this. So this coordinate is x equals 1, y equals 3. This one is x equals 0, y equals 2. Then this coordinate is x equals -2 and y equals 0. So this is the graph. How about this? Is this okay, if x equals 4 and 1, will this a solution? Will this be on the point on the line? Well, if x equals 4, then 3, 4, y equals 1. This one, right? This is 4 and 1. So this is not a solution, right? This is not a solution of the equation because this point is not on the line. So this one is not a solution, right? Solution. This is not a solution of the equation. Make sense? So all the points on the line will be the solution of the equation. If a point is not on the line, then it is not a solution of the equation. Okay, for the graph below, what is the y value when x equals 1? Okay, so let's find the y value using this graph. So when x equals 1, so locate 1 on the x-axis. So you are at here. And then we want to find the y value, so go all the way up. So follow the vertical line from 1. Then this goes up to here. So this one meets at this point, right, on the line. Then since we want to find the y value of this point, go to the y-axis. So this one will meet at 4 at 4. So when x equals 1, y is 4. So the y value is now 4. So the y value is 4 when x equals what? 1. Alright. So this is how we can find the coordinate of the point. So x equals 1, then y is 4.